So, Alana Jaylo, you're just telling me. Jaylo.
Yes.
Alana Jaylo,
Yes.
okay.
Yes.
You're just telling me that you think that NPR is pretty liberal.
Yes, I do.
Most people would agree with you, but for some reason I think that they lean a little bit too conservative.
I don't think so.
They definitely lean in the Hillary Clinton direction.
Yeah, but I don't think Hillary Clinton would be considered conservative. I think maybe she's not as progressive, but that doesn't make her conservative either.
I don't know, like, she was against gay marriage until around 2013.
Yeah, but...
Very pro-war.
Yeah, but she said a lot of things to get a lot of votes, and I don't think she really meant it, because when she was running for president, she completely changed her tune. And I think that the Clintons have been fraudulent anyway.
Oh, I do too.
But I think she has been playing on a lot of people's, as far as like, what I mean by getting a lot of votes. I think she's been trying to play the conservative card to get conservatives to vote for her. If in fact that really did happen, that she actually got conservative votes, but the conservatives don't think she's conservative, so I think it says a lot.
I think that she plays liberal to get liberal votes, but her true nature is conservative.
And I think the total opposite.
And that's why she appeared on Fox News, but she wouldn't appear on TYT when she was running for president. You know, that's why she wouldn't go... What was that state where she refused to go to campaign because she thought there was a Democratic strong... Was that Minnesota? I could have that wrong.
There's so many states that she did not go to. She didn't go to Iowa. I don't think she went to Iowa. I don't think she went to Indiana. I don't think she went to Pennsylvania. There's a lot of states that she did not go to. Would you agree? Now, we both think that she was a horrible candidate.
Absolutely.
But would you agree that it would probably help her votes if she went to as many states as Trump did?
Without question.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that. But I don't think she did her job as far as campaigning.
I'm not a Donald Trump fan, in case you haven't figured that out.
No, I figured that out, and we don't have to discuss it because we know why.
Having said that,
yes,
I do think that he's really good at communicating with his base.
Absolutely.
And Hillary Clinton was horrible at that. No,
and yes, I agree. You are correct about that. I absolutely believe that she was not very good at communicating. But I'm at the opposite as far as thinking that she's more liberal than you would think. But that's because a lot of conservatives don't like her, and a lot of Democrats don't like her either. So I think it says a lot. You know,
right.
Both parties don't like you.
But yeah, you still got to run for president.
If her own party doesn't like her, there's something wrong with that picture.
And it says something about the party that would be the representation that they chose to run for president.
Right.
That's partially why I think Joe Biden is going to win the nomination. It's because it's not that he's really talented. It's that I think the Democratic establishment wants him to be the nomination.
And I personally...
Nominee. I said nomination.
Nominee. I knew what you meant. Yeah. And I personally don't think he would. I don't think the chances are and I say this, and I know it's kind of early to say, but as far as it stands, and when I've heard clips about him in his speeches lately, and even in clips from the Democratic debates, which I did not sit through because I couldn't sit through them. But I heard enough of his clip to kind of come to the conclusion that he really doesn't look good right now. But I guess that remains to be seen if he actually gets the vote of several Democrats.
I could be wrong, but I think because the establishment wants him to be the nomination, they're going to push it regardless of what the American people think. Just like they screwed over Bernie, I think they'll screw over Bernie again and a lot of other people.
And Hillary Clinton was responsible for rigging that part for Bernie.
Oh, there's no question about that.
Yeah. But I don't know. I don't see it looking very good for him. But that's just me. Just as much as I don't see it, I mean, it's not looking good for Beto O'Rourke already.
Well, Beto O'Rourke would be... Yeah. He's never going to get the nomination.
It's not looking good for Beto O'Rourke, and it's not looking good for what's his name? De Blasio, either. Both of them are pretty...
they don't have a chance.
Both of them are jokes. I mean...
Well, Beto O'Rourke, at least de Blasio, has won an election.
Yeah, but he's not looking good anyway. I mean...
Right, but I'm saying, like...
He has won an election.
Does Beto O'Rourke even have an ability to win an election? Not even a presidential election, but could even win a local election.
Okay, so
he's a complete joke.
He is, and you know what's even funnier? I found out this morning that instead of campaigning in the United States right now, he's campaigning for votes in Mexico, which is not, I just think it's really odd. He's getting migrant votes.
I don't know if that's true or not, but
No,
I don't
it is.
think
It is true.
I don't think
There is actually a clip of him in Mexico.
Okay.
There is actually a clip of him in Mexico. It has been reported. I actually heard it this morning, and I think it's pretty.
Is this like
ridiculous.
this clip of Obama you say exists of him saying he's really from
Okay,
Kenya?
okay. I will find it. I will do my hardest to find it because it should be up there.
Okay.
It was up there for a really, really long time.
Regardless, I don't think that Beto O'Rourke has any chance of winning any election in his lifetime.
I would agree because it hasn't been looking good for him.
No.
He tried to come off as being like, for one thing, he tried to come off as supposedly being Mexican, right?
I didn't know that.
No, his real name is Robert Francis O'Rourke. He's actually Irish, but he for some reason he kept saying that he was Mexican.
Just to give you some background with me and Betta.
Yeah.
Not that there's a lot of background.
No.
I really haven't been compelled to research him.
Yeah.
My first awareness of him was when he was running against Ted Cruz.
Mm-hmm.
About what was that, last year?
Right.
And
I didn't know that actually.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
And Ted Cruz beat him. Ted Cruz, who in my opinion is complete evil and who would have been a worse president than Donald Trump. He couldn't even beat Ted Cruz.
That's pretty sad.
Yeah.
So
I never bothered
I will
to
say
research
this.
it.
I don't think Ted Cruz is evil, but I will say this. I wouldn't vote for him because of the mudslinging that he said he was not going to do against Donald Trump when they were campaigning together. That's one of the reasons why I wouldn't.
In fairness, Donald Trump did a lot of stuff against him, like trying to say that his father was tied in with the Kennedy assassination.
Well, that's because, and I think you would agree with this. Every time somebody tried to, and regardless of who it is, okay, whether it's Ted Cruz or whether it was Jeb Bush, right? All the Republican candidates that were debating with Donald Trump didn't last very long. Would you agree?
Yeah, I would agree with that.
And I think that because he was so good at getting to the jugular, so to speak, I guess, that was one of the reasons why. I think that was one of the reasons why Ted Cruz didn't last long. And he did say that he wasn't going to do any of the mudslinging, but he did.
But so did Donald Trump, though. Yes,
but I think I can't remember. Yes, I remember that. I remember that part. But I think that any Republican candidate that has ever tried to push back against him in whatever way they could never was able to survive.
No, but my point isn't whether they are able to survive. My point is, it's not like Trump was just being super kind to Ted Cruz, and Ted Cruz decided to lash out. Trump was legitimately took some very low blows to Ted Cruz.
Yeah, I know. I've heard it, and I can't remember if
he insulted his wife too. I think he said that she was ugly.
Yeah, I can't remember who started it. I think I forgot what I remember hearing about that. Yes.
Yeah. Listen, I hate both of them, but I'm just saying.
Hate is such a strong word. I mean, you never even met those men, so I don't know how you could hate someone you never met.
Well,
I'm just saying,
But I'm saying, like, fair is fair, though.
Right.
It's not like, neither one of them is innocent, including Trump, in the whole dispute between the two
whole
of them.
mudslinging, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, they did participate in it both. Both of them did. But I think you would agree that Hillary Clinton really doesn't have any connection to her base at all.
If she even has a base.
I don't know.
Her base are like rich donors, right?
I don't know. People that would just vote for her because she's a woman.
I know.
A lot of it is like young millennials that don't have any knowledge about politics, and that they would vote for her just because she was a woman.
I would agree with you on that.
Yeah. Okay. So good. We agree on that too.
We agree on that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Alana.
Yes.
Moving off of politics.
Thank you. Yes.
Yes. Blues Fest
Yes.
is something that happens here in Portland.
Yes.
It's coming up this week.
Yeah.
I love Blues Fest. You've never been.
I've never been, but I'm very excited to go.
This weekend.
This weekend, yes.
You're not going to go for the whole 4 days like I did.
No. I don't know if I can handle that.
It's pretty intense.
I mean, I love music, don't get me wrong. I love it as much as you do. But 4 days in the hot sun with several people crowded on a dance floor, and it's like crowded. And not eating for hours, I don't know if I can handle that.
Yeah.
I can't. It's not like it's a fair where I can go and have food if I want to and walk around and not decide not to listen to some music or just go to some stages and listen to some music or whatever. It's like we're going to be listening to a lot of music. We're going to be dancing for
like 11 hours. Yeah.
Straight, it sounds like.
Pretty much, yeah.
And the one thing I'm concerned about is not just the heat, but like what if one of us gets dehydrated? I mean, I'll bring water. I'll make sure to bring water, but what if one of us gets dehydrated and we have to leave early?
We don't want to leave early. So, in fairness, there is food there, and I know I already told you
it's
this.
Pricey.
It's pricey.
I wouldn't get food there because of the prices.
And you also know if you're going with me, I'm going to drag you to every single stage. As soon as one set stops, we're running to go to the next set because I am a music addict. And that's just part of the thing of going with me to something like this.
Oh.
We're not going to spend a lot of time just sitting down.
No, I get it.
But you know that going in.
No, I knew that. That's the only real, the couple things that I'm worried about is dehydration, and
being dragged around by
my boyfriend to every single stage in the in the park.
It's a lot of fun.
It's like if I took you shopping for a day.
Well, the difference is
because I don't go shopping for a day.
Yes, and also you're asking to go to this, right? It's not like I said you have to go to this Blues Fest.
No, I actually wanted to go because you posed a question like, have you thought about going? And I said, yeah, I thought about going. I wanted to try it because I heard that you really love it, and I love listening to music that I've never listened to before, and I love live music and concerts and things like that, and maybe I'll recognize, or maybe I won't recognize the people that I listen to, except for maybe one group.
But there's going to be a lot of good acts there this year. I mean, there's the unknown acts, which I like going to the Blues Fest.
Yeah.
And not knowing the music of the people I'm going to see, because I think it blows you away when you hear something great. That's how I got turned on to Samantha Fish.
Yeah.
That's how I got turned on to Polyrhythmics.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and they're really good. They're really, really good.
Mm-hmm, that's how I discovered the music of Mark Burchard.
And I didn't know
and also Indigenous.
Yeah. And Indigenous, did we listen to that?
I don't think we've listened to it, but they're a pretty good rock band.
Yeah, and I didn't realize that the Polyrhythmics were from Seattle, and had I known that, that would have been really cool. I mean, but you turned me on to them.
They're
great. So good.
They're an amazing band.
They have a really great horn section.
I've seen them perform at Blues Fest twice, and both times they just blew me away with how great they were.
Yeah, they sound so good. They sound good on your playlist. Mm-hmm. And it would be even more awesome just to hear them live.
They're amazing live.
Yeah.
So this year, the big highlights that I know of are St. Paul and the Broken Bones.
Yep, yes.
I've not seen them live, but I really enjoy their music.
And they are good, yes.
Vintage Trouble
mm-hmm.
is on right before them, but they're on a different stage in a different part of the park, so we're going to have to run.
Right.
I saw Vintage Trouble last year at the Blues Fest, and they were incredible.
Mm-hmm. Before
Vintage Trouble, on the stage that St. Paul and the Broken Bones is on. So we're going to have to run from that stage back and forth.
Oh, no.
It's Southern Avenue, and I saw them, I think, 2 years ago at Blues Fest, and they're also amazing. The three artists who I'm familiar with their music
mm-hmm.
are really, really good.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Interesting.
But it is going to be packed.
Oh, yeah. That's what I'm not looking forward to, because I know it's going to be a Saturday, which I thought it was going to be a Friday.
That's because I gave you the wrong information, and then last night I was looking at their website and I saw, I got the days wrong.
Okay, well that's bound to happen sometime. You get the days wrong, but I'm glad you found that out yesterday.
I will learn to forgive myself.
Okay, well I forgive you for that.
Thank you. I've already asked God for forgiveness for this, but I just need to learn how to forgive me.
Really?
Yeah.
That's not really a bad offense. It's just an honest mistake.
Oh, okay.
Anyone could have done it.
Nice.
I could have done it. I could have given you the wrong information and realized, oh, no, that was wrong. Yes.
But it is going to be packed in there.
Yeah.
Which is why I recommended that you buy a fanny pack.
And I really hope that when I go to the store tomorrow, I'll be able to find a good one.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
You don't want to bring your purse. Because
No,
there's going to be a lot of people.
I'm not going to bring my purse, and I don't want things to fall out of it, and I'm going to try to see if I can not bring my backpack, even though I can put, my backpack would be able to hold everything. Yeah, I hope I can find something tomorrow.
Many people are going to be bumping into you if you have your purse on you.
I'm not bringing my purse. I said I wasn't bringing my purse.
Or your backpack.
Yeah. Well, there won't be... If I do have to take my backpack, which hopefully that won't happen, but if I do have to take it, I'll make sure there's no valuables in it.
You definitely want to empty it out with everything.
I mean, my wallet will be fine. The stuff that isn't so... I mean, my wallet will be okay because it's strong. But I'll take out any, tech stuff that won't... That may break.
Mm-hmm.
I will take out any tech stuff that will break.
That's good.
Because I don't want to do that. I want to save the pockets for things that I actually will need while I'm there. So
I'm nervous about how Saturday is going to go, but I'm also excited about it.
Me too. I know it's going to be at least 80 degrees, which is fine, but I'm not excited about... I'm a little nervous about how hot it's going to be because how many people are going to be there, and thankfully I'm not claustrophobic, because if I was claustrophobic, I wouldn't be going. I would not be going.
No.
Yeah. Thank goodness I'm not claustrophobic, because that would have been awful. That would have been terrible.
But it's going to be an interesting experience. It's definitely going to lead to some stories.
Yes.
Yes.
Who knows? We may even run into somebody or some people that we might know.
We might. So a group of people, I've told you this,
Yes.
wants to meet with me. A group of my friends, people who I actually like, want to meet with me on Friday.
And people I also know, yes.
Right. The only thing is, I kind of want to just go alone on Friday and enjoy it by myself, even though I love these guys.
And my suggestion is that you should not respond too much.
I'm just going to be straightforward with them.
Oh, you are?
Hey, you guys are great, but I go there for the music and not to.
And I'm not gonna be talking much. Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you ever see me there, yeah.
And somebody you kind of know is going to be there on Saturday. Yeah. Seeing the same person that she's seen 15 times before.
Yeah, exactly.
But luckily, he is scheduled, I believe, opposite St. Paul and the Broken Bone, so we're not going to run into her.
Okay, what? Oh.
So there's a couple of different stages, and even though they're like the main act closing out the show, there's going to be another act on the opposite side of the park that's also playing the last show on that stage for the night.
So we're not going to run into said person who wants to see that.
The likelihood of us running into her is very low, unless we run into her earlier in the day.
Right.
And I don't know if she's coming early or if she's just coming for that show.
Well, she said, said person said that she would only see this guy, something Carey, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Whatever his name is. Someone that you don't really listen to, I guess. Mm-hmm. You said you heard him live, but you weren't.
It was good, but it didn't blow me away.
It wasn't spectacular.
Yeah.
Like the Polyrhythmics. Yeah, so she said she only goes to his part of the show. That's what I heard her say.
We're probably not going to run into her then.
Probably not. And there's going to be a big crowd of people, so most likely we may not catch her. Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
We can avoid those people.
Right.
I want to talk a little bit more about art with you, but switch gears a little bit.
Art? Okay.
I saw this incredible movie this weekend. Mm-hmm. What are you doing?
Water.
Okay. Get water.
Water. Okay, go on.
I saw a great movie on Saturday night on Netflix. It's a classic called Oh, You're Handing Me Water. That's not the name of the movie.
No. It's not You're Handling Me... You're not... It's not You're Handing Me Water. Okay, go on.
So on Saturday night, I finally saw the movie Network.
Okay.
Which came out in, I want to say, 1976.
Yeah.
and I've known about it since I was a kid.
Oh, okay.
But I've never watched it before.
Yeah.
This weekend.
Right.
It blew me away with how amazing it was.
Really?
Yes. There was a few little things where I was like, okay, that's a little bit unbelievable.
Yeah.
But overall, it was a great movie, especially considering the time it was made. It really kind of predicted a lot of media, a lot of modern media.
Oh, wow.
So what do you...
I'm putting my phone away. It's fine. I'm okay.
Right.
Yeah.
I was wondering from your perspective.
Yeah.
Have you watched the movie?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
So I can't really give you much of a perspective.
Well, one, I recommend that you watch Network.
Right.
But two, I want to know from you, what films have blown your mind, if any?
Really? You mean like what genre are you thinking? Just
Well,
any genre?
any genre. What films have made you question the world?
That's a really good question. I don't know that there's any film that really made me question how the world is run. I mean, there may have been some fictional things like...
Well, most films are fictional.
No. I mean, like, there was one movie that... have you heard of the movie Powder?
I saw the movie Powder.
Okay. A very sad movie, in some ways. I don't know that it made me question the world, how the world is, but it kind of made me, think of some things.
Well, you're not going to like this.
And I'm not really like, it's not my favorite movie.
Well,
ever.
that's good, especially after you hear what I have to say about the movie Powder.
Right, okay.
The director of the movie Powder was arrested for pedophilia.
Oh, wow.
Like 6 years before the movie was made.
Wow.
And I've heard that it's like a big movie in the pedophilia world. There's supposedly like all
Are
these...
you serious?
Yes, I'm not making this up.
Whoa. Wow. You're kidding.
No. So I heard this on Joe Rogan. So I wasn't able to confirm that the movie's big in the pedophilia world, but what I did do, about 4 years ago, Joe Rogan had a guest on. I think it was Barry Crimmins, who has since passed away. And he said that the thing about the director and that it's big in the pedophilia world. So I Googled the director, and he was, in fact, arrested for pedophilia.
Oh, wow.
And then now there are all these rumors online. Is this true or is it not true? But yeah, supposedly that movie is big in that community.
But why? Just because the director had a history of...
Well, so not only that, but... So I saw it when it first came out. This is all alleged, and I may have a little bit of it wrong. But the kid doesn't have any hair on his body, including any pubic hair.
Whoa.
But there's supposedly the scene where he touches Jeff Goldblum. And then Jeff Goldblum comes back like the next day and said, I had like the best sex I've ever had in my entire life.
What?
Yeah. And,
so it's implied that something happened.
Well, no, it's not implied, but it's basically, there's all these dog whistles in the movie. That if you're in that community, you know what they mean.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that wasn't my favorite movie, but what I was going to say before you went on that
ruined it for you.
Before you ruined it, which probably means I'm not going to watch it ever again.
Right.
I thought it was very depressing, a very sad movie, because he was born. You've seen the scene where this guy's wife gives birth to their son, and he's very white.
Let me give you some context.
Okay.
I saw the movie when it came out in theaters. It was a class field trip, and we got to the movie theater a little bit late.
Okay.
And I was talking with some other kids during the movie. I was kind of making fun of the screen. So while I saw it, I don't remember it as much as you do.
Okay, well, I do.
Okay.
But what I was going to say is apparently there was a scene where the wife of this guy is giving birth to the baby, and she gives birth to Powder, and her husband looked at the baby and said, "This isn't my son," because he was really, really white, like as Powder. That's why they called him Powder. That's why it was called Powder, and how much he was ridiculed because he looked so different from everybody else, and. I just thought it was like one of those movies where I wouldn't care if I watched it again, and now that I hear about this really disturbing news about the director, I probably will never watch it again.
And by the way, Wikipedia that for yourself, so it's not just me saying it, but
wow.
Yeah. So that almost raised some questions for you, but has there been any other forms of cinema that have raised questions for you, serious questions.
Serious questions?
Yeah.
I don't know that there was any. I mean, I don't know. I can't say. I don't think there's any movie that I've seen that really made me question how things, how the world really is, I guess. I can't really say. But maybe it's because, I don't know, I don't really think about it when I'm watching movies. Maybe there may be a line that I hear that really makes me think about it. I don't know. But I don't really go there, I guess. I don't know.
That's fair. A lot of people just watch movies on the surface.
I just watch movies on the surface, and I don't really, take into consideration what that might mean for our world, or how I will change my view about the world, or, well, maybe, maybe in some ways some movies have changed my views about, or maybe not changed my views, but it really made me think about my view of, for example, and I know I'm giving a fictional example.
Yeah, because movies are fictional.
No, I know that. Most movies are.
Unless they're documentaries.
Unless they're true stories or whatever. And I don't know, this may not be a good example. Have you ever seen the movie Maleficent?
I've never even heard of it.
Maleficent is a live-action Disney movie that was based on the witch in Sleeping Beauty, who was Maleficent in the fairy tale that was from the old Sleeping Beauty, and how Maleficent was thought of as being this really, really evil witch that put a spell on Sleeping Beauty, that when she turns 16, she would prick her finger on the spindle and sleep for 100 years until a prince woke her up with a kiss, right?
Okay.
And I grew up, thinking, she's a horrible villain, and I don't remember who wrote the movie or who wrote the story behind the movie, but...
I did.
No, you didn't.
No, go ahead.
It really made me think about the other side of Maleficent that you didn't see in the old version of Sleeping Beauty. But that's just, I know it's just it may not be a good example, but I can't think of one movie that actually made me think of the world, I guess, as it is.
I would be interested to hear your take on Network, but also your views on movies like The Matrix or Fight Club.
Yeah, I didn't see Fight Club, but did you like it?
I liked it a lot, but it also made me question the world and think of the world a little bit differently.
Could you give me an example?
Not really, without ruining some of the stuff in the movie.
Mm.
And there's also that famous line in the movie, "Those who know about Fight Club don't talk about Fight Club."
Oh, wow.
But also, if I told you, it would kind of ruin the movie.
Oh.
The Matrix, though, you've never seen The Matrix, have you?
I did, but I wasn't really into it, I guess. I think I did see The Matrix, yes.
I was really hesitant to seeing it, and finally, around 2 years ago, after I experienced the eclipse, I sat down, I think the day after that, and I watched The Matrix. I only watched the first one, but it blew my mind, and it really made me think of the world a little bit differently. Some of it were things that I already had theories about, is this reality real, or is it a dream form? I mean, we don't have to go down that road because you're tired of hearing me talk about it. But it had a lot of stuff that confirmed, or not confirmed, but made me think I'm not alone with these thoughts.
Yeah.
Confirmed is a horrible.
It's yeah.
It didn't confirm that this is a fake world.
Right.
But it didn't prove that this is a real world either. But it's one of those movies that made me look at life a little bit differently.
Mm. I don't really take it into an account. If I'm watching a movie, like a fantasy movie or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the Harry Potter movies, okay? I didn't watch all of them. I know I have a different perspective from reading the books.
Mm-hmm.
I think I may watch the rest of them just because I want to see how accurate it is compared to the books. Just because I'm curious. Now that I read all the series finally. But it doesn't make me question, the world as I am. It wouldn't make me question the world because it's a fantasy world. Hogwarts is just a fantasy / adventure.
I hear you, but I think art often will make you question the world. And it's not that it's saying, okay, this is for sure the way it is, but it presents a new idea to you. Or it presents an idea that may be an old idea, but it's packaged in a way to where you can really digest it.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the Harry Potter books were fun to read, and I really enjoyed them, and they had so many creative elements to the stories. But I also have to remember that this is a fictional story. These aren't real characters. These are actors that are playing parts. And
right. But
I don't know. I just don't think about it the way that some people do.
But it doesn't have to be Harry Potter.
No, I know. I'm just using it as an example.
But it could be anything.
Yeah.
That any form of art or any book or any film that really makes you think about the world differently and question things in a unique way. I'm surprised you don't have that because that's something to me that is so connected to art.
Well,
is the ability to make you question the world, or the ability to make me question the world.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I never thought of it that way because maybe it's my upbringing. Maybe it's because I see the world differently than some people do. I don't know. I just never questioned it. I just thought, this is a movie world. This is a real world, and they should not intertwine.
You were raised to believe that this reality is reality.
Right. I've always believed that. Yeah. I don't think we're like in an alternate universe.
Some people believe that you travel to an alternate universe based on the decisions you make. For example, if I decide to, I don't know, buy some fireworks this weekend instead of going to the Blues Festival, I enter into a universe to where I bought fireworks and life changes because of that.
That's kind of far-fetched.
And if I go to the Blues Festival, I'm in a universe where I'm in the Blues Festival. As I'm saying it, I'm realizing I'm doing a horrible job.
That's very odd. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just I guess I don't. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't. I don't think of it that way. I will say this. So,
go ahead.
And I've told you about my best friend's wedding. I know this might be a not so good of an example, but sometimes I'll watch a movie like that, and if you watch a romantic chick flick, a lot of times you're rooting for the person that wants the guy or the girl, right? Mm-hmm. Well, in this particular movie, she doesn't get the guy she wants. She was with this guy.
Thanks for ruining it for me.
No.
Go ahead.
I'm just saying she doesn't get the guy she wants. Somebody else gets the guy, and I think it was kind of like a refreshing thing to see because a lot of romantic comedies, the guy and the girl get together. It's a happy ending. Mm-hmm. She doesn't get that happy ending. Somebody else does. And she has to live with the fact that this guy is in love with somebody else and he's chosen to marry somebody else.
And that makes you question things a little bit or look at the world a little bit differently.
Looking at it different from that perspective, like saying, not every person gets what they want in life. Not every guy will get the girl that they love. Not every girl will get the guy that they love.
That's what I got out of watching Married with Children.
Why?
Well,
explain that for me, please.
Al and Peg are always making fun of each other, and then you have Bud, who's always chasing after these girls. He rarely gets them, and if he does it, they're just like a one-time fling, except for when he was dating Marcy's niece.
Oh, he was?
For a couple episodes.
Oh, wow.
And I wish they would have continued on with that character because that would have been an interesting relationship to watch develop. Anyways, then you have Kelly, who's all these guys want to be with her.
Yeah.
And then she either rejects them or they find out how dumb she is and they're no longer interested in her.
Right.
You go over to Marcy, who when the series starts is with this guy who is this great guy for her. And then he slowly starts to go off the hinges and leaves. and she gets drunk one night, and she marries this guy who's a con artist.
Jefferson.
Yeah.
So she marries him when he's drunk. When they're drunk.
They're drunk,
Wow.
and they're at a bankers convention.
Yeah.
And she marries this pretty boy who's a con artist.
Wow.
So she doesn't get who she wants.
Wow.
So Married with Children is a good example of realizing that not everybody in life ends up with the person that they want to be with.
Well, even in there's some episodes in Friends too. Now I know I'm a big Friends fan.
Yes.
And I'm sure that anyone listening to this may be big Friends fans too.
And there was the great crossover episodes with Friends and
All
Married
right.
Go ahead.
There is no crossover over episodes, although that would be really funny. But a lot of times, a lot of the characters did not end up with the girl or the guy that they wanted. In one episode, Joey and Rachel Joey and Rachel go out for like a short time, like for a week, but they realize that they really aren't for each other, even though Rachel's in love with Joey.
Wow.
The character of Ross goes out with this paleontologist lady that he thinks would be really, really good for him, but she ends up getting back together with her ex. Because they realized that they were still in love with each other. I mean, it's a funny way of, they presented it in a really funny way, but I think in some ways it's showing that even though it is a fictional comedy, sitcom, in reality you don't always get the guy or the girl that you want. And then sometimes when you realize that you don't get the girl or the guy that you want, it's for a really good reason.
Or you get the girl or the guy that you want, and you realize they're not really who I want. I wanted the image that they present to the world, but not the actual person.
Right, or they're in love with the idea. You're in love with the idea of this person.
That's what I just said.
No, yeah, I know. I think I was trying to reword it differently.
Reword it differently.
But yeah, but you're basically, as we both have stated, we're in love with the idea of this person, not the actual person.
Correct.
Yeah. So I think it's interesting.
Yes.
It is. And, I kind of like how Friends has, even though you don't watch it, I know, I still think you should give it a try, but...
I watched part of the first season.
No, you gotta...
When it was originally on.
No, the other seasons get better and better. And I understand there are 10 seasons, but they get better and funnier, I think. That's my opinion. But I think that they do a really good job of showing that, in life you don't always get the job or the guy or the girl or, so the character of Joey is an actor,
right.
But he doesn't always get the gigs that he wants. He doesn't always get the roles that he wants. But he tries whatever he can to get whatever role it is, even if it means that he's in the role for like a short time.
So I'm curious about something then.
Yes.
When the series ends,
yes,
out of all the main characters, is there anyone where their life is messed up at the end of the series? Or do they wrap every character up in a nice bow?
As a lot of sitcoms end, you don't really know what happens to them after that.
Right, but
they're pretty much wrapped up in a bow, because... Okay, so I guess I would have to explain this, because I can't tell you the entire ending.
Go ahead.
But Ross and Rachel end up together.
I know that because I saw a YouTube video about it.
Okay. Monica and Chandler are still together, and they're married, and they've got their kids.
So they adopted kids, or
yes,
they bought them from a baby?
They adopted kids.
Okay.
Joey, you don't really know what happens to Joey. But he is...
he goes to LA to start in a failed sitcom.
Yeah, I really wish they didn't have a spin-off of Friends, and because Joey didn't do very well. I didn't like it. I thought it was better when he was a part of the Friends cast. And then Phoebe and her husband Mike are still together. And, and it's pretty much wrapped up in a bow. But then Joey, starts from their sitcom, which didn't do very well.
Right, but we don't know that at the end of Friends. He thinks that he's going
don't.
to star in this hit show. And
no, actually, no. It ends a different way.
How's that working out for you, Joey?
No, it ends a different way.
Okay.
But I can't tell you about that because you have to watch the last episode.
But it ends up pretty good for him. last episode.
Yeah, well, kind of. I mean, you don't really know what happens to him. It's just like almost like a cliffhanger. You don't really know what happens to him.
Right, but that's because they were setting
He's welcome
it up.
to go, he's welcome to come to Monica and Chandler's house, but you don't know what happens if he ever is successful. That's what I mean. But it's pretty much wrapped up in a nice, tight, nice little ending, nice little bow, which is true. It is true.
I figured that would be true because that's the way most sitcoms end.
That's true. Yes.
There are a few exceptions to that rule.
Yeah, I remember. You remember that one sitcom, Dharma and Greg?
I saw episodes of it, but I didn't watch the end of the series. What I saw, I liked. I just didn't watch it all the way through.
I didn't watch the end of the series, but I remember this one part where it was after Dharma. I think it was after Greg finds out that Dharma had this affair. I think it was a brief affair, and something happens where they get into an accident, and she.
I remember that. That's the episode I stopped watching.
Yeah, she breaks her leg.
Yeah.
And I don't know what happened afterwards.
But she's like watching from like an out of body experience as she recovers. It was really weird.
I didn't really watch every episode, but what I did watch, I thought it was funny.
I liked what I saw up until that point.
I do remember an episode that they actually went here where they were planning to adopt a little boy. They even had were thinking about names to name the boy. And then the mom comes back, his birth mom comes back and says, I can't give you my son because I want him back.
Kind of sounds
like... That was a really heavy episode.
Kind of sounds like a ripoff of The Honeymooners.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You remember that episode? You never watched The Honeymooners. No, I never watched
it, no.
That's a show that still kind of holds up.
And so they had a heavy episode like that on The Honeymooners?
Yeah, so... One, I like The Honeymooners because in the 50s, you really didn't see poor people on TV. And the characters were not upper class at all.
Right.
In this episode, they adopt a little girl.
Yeah.
I don't want to ruin the whole thing for me, so I'm giving you like the very briefest of synopsis.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Sorry, I had to move my leg.
Okay.
Sorry.
They adopt a little girl. And, they love this girl, and about a week later, the mom comes to the adoption agency and says, I want my daughter back. Yeah. So the dude who's running the adoption agency goes to see Jackie Gleason and Audrey Meadows, who are, of course, Ralph and Alice Cramden. And he says, Mr. Cramden, she wants her daughter back. Legally, you're within your rights and we'll stand by you. But the mom seemed really distressed. And he yells at the guy and the guy leaves. And he's like, the nerve of this woman.
Yeah.
She throws a perfectly good baby away and now she wants her back.
Yeah.
And then he says, you know what, maybe we could be like a second family to them.
Yeah.
I'm going to go upstairs and call and let them know to come and pick up the baby.
Yeah.
And then it ends with Alice crying.
Wow.
Next to the crib.
Wow, so they actually had a heavy episode back then.
The entire episode wasn't heavy, but that was.
That was a pretty. It sounds like it was one of those very special episodes. Yeah.
I highly recommend watching The Honeymooners.
Wow.
But that's just me.
To the moon, Alice. I keep hearing about that. To the moon, Alice.
Great show.
He always threatens to get rid of her. To the moon, Alice.
You could not do that on TV today.
Oh.
I don't think you could.
So in Perfect Strangers, which I finished finally, it was kind of weird how it ended though. I mean the episode leading to how it ended was kind of strange. But they did a Honeymooners kind of a themed episode.
I don't like it when sitcoms do that. Just let the old show be the old show.
Yeah, I didn't think much of it. I mean, I thought it was okay. They had funnier episodes in that one.
Yeah, I would just say go back and watch The Honeymooners.
Oh.
Great show.
Oh.
Great show.
Okay.
In my humble opinion.
In your humble opinion. Okay.
So, Alana.
Yes.
Did we eat anything today?
Yes, we did.
I have amnesia. What did we eat today?
Oh, we made some really, really yummy tabbouleh.
Not that I remember it, but did we have anything before then?
Yes, we did.
Well, now I don't remember, but what did we have?
You made something very, very yummy.
What did I make? I don't remember. I don't recall.
You had some sourdough bread.
Homemade sourdough bread.
And you made that with some homemade pesto. And with the flavored nuts you put in the pesto, the ones that you used for the the pad thai, right?
The one that I use for pad thai, yeah.
Oh, it was so good.
I did not make pad thai today, but
No.
I'm going to make it probably tomorrow.
It was a really, really yummy dish.
Nice.
And we had 2 yummy dishes and some yummy chocolate.
Because we did eat tabbouleh.
We did eat tabbouleh.
And we had some mango kombucha.
And we're thinking about doing a couple things next week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like?
We are going to make a creative grilled cheese sandwich, which I'm really excited to make with avocado, hopefully.
Yep.
Because I brought up the idea of avocado toast. And I really love avocado toast. And you can make it minus the egg. It's just as good. And then you suggest that we do like a grilled cheese with avocado. And then I said, oh, we should make some M&M cookies. Maybe some peanut butter cookies with M&Ms on top. And I suggested that, and you were trying to find a recipe. You weren't sure if the M&Ms were going to melt, right?
I just assumed that they would, and I checked online, and I went to some message board, and they said, listen, the chocolate does melt, but because of the shell, the shell stays fine, so it's not going to leak all over the place. And obviously I've had M&M cookies before,
Yes.
but I wasn't quite sure how that works.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And they do taste good with peanut butter cookies, because I have made them a long time ago, and they are really good.
So my thoughts
Yes.
on the grilled cheese sandwich, in case anybody else wants to try this,
Yep.
is making a loaf of sourdough sandwich bread, which I think I know how to do, even though I've never really done a sandwich bread loaf.
Yeah.
I've done the standard bread basket loaf. But anyways, that's a whole other debate.
Yeah.
But take slices of sourdough bread, spread some cream cheese on it, spread some regular cheddar cheese on it, spread some avocado on it,
Yum.
put a little bit of mustard seed, spread some homemade pesto,
Yep.
and then throw that on the Foreman grill for a few minutes.
Oh, that would taste so good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That would taste amazing, I think.
Yes, you
And
would.
with the added pesto and the cheeses, and the avocado,
Oh, yeah.
I think that would taste so good.
That's going to be really good.
Yeah. That kind of reminds me of the time when we made those hummus paninis.
Those were good.
Oh my gosh, those are so good.
Mhm.
I know I had some problems that day with the that was our I guess you would call it our fight mirror day.
Really? I've refreshed my memory.
Remember that time when we were making hummus in the food processor, and I couldn't figure out how to use it?
Oh, yeah, you couldn't figure out how the
thing
lid
was
locked
I
up.
have since gotten much better with that.
Yes.
Yeah, and so I'm definitely getting better at that. But I had a very hard time, and I was very frustrated, and it could have gotten a lot worse. But
True.
you know, I could have completely stormed off and left your apartment and never came back.
I'm very glad that did not happen.
No, I didn't think it was, a too big a thing to get really too upset about. But I was frustrated.
But you survived.
I did survive.
You lived to cook another day, to process another day.
Yes, I did. I lived to process another day, and I have since gotten better at it. But it reminds me of those paninis that we did make, which I think we should make again.
We can make this again.
Yeah.
There's so many things, and I want to make sourdough pizza.
Mm-hmm. That would probably taste really good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The recipe doesn't look too hard.
Yeah. And you said you were thinking about doing a sourdough cinnamon roll thing?
I keep going back and forth in my mind about doing one.
Yeah. That might actually taste really good. I mean, it tastes good with as banana bread.
It does.
Oh my gosh, it tastes so good.
I gotta make that again soon.
Yeah.
Well, if I get avocados, I'll also buy bananas, because if you put avocados next to bananas, they ripen faster.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yep.
Do you have to keep the bananas at room temperature too?
Well, you just do that naturally.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whether in or out of the fridge or what?
Well, you can't keep bananas at room temperature when they're in the fridge, babe.
No, I know. But what I'm asking is, when you put the avocados with the bananas, do you have to have them both at room temperature?
Yeah, I mean, you have them out, so they're not in the fridge.
Okay. That's what I was trying to ask.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, on to Jaylo, is there
Yes.
anything else you want to
I'm Oh,
we didn't talk about dreams.
dreams?
Yeah.
What about
Oh,
dreams?
what were you going to say before I interrupted you?
I know I've been having some interesting times dog sitting.
Are you enjoying it?
I am enjoying it. She's a really fun dog, but she's kind of strange. I think she's still she was younger than the dog that I used to sort of take care of. So I think when she hears like thunder and lightning, she freaks out and she decides, okay, I'm gonna either sleep under the bed or I'll sleep in the closet.
But she doesn't bark a lot, does she?
No, my landlord is trying to train her not to bark when she sees strangers outside of our door, outside of our house. But she doesn't bark much at all.
That's good.
But she does whimper a lot.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Dogs tend to do stuff like that. Though.
Yeah, but she's cute though. Okay, so what about dreams? I know I...
Tell me some dreams. I have one dream that I told you about, but I'll tell you about it again. But first, you go ahead.
Oh, okay, yeah. The one dream I had the other day that I believe I told you about, it was very strange. So my aunt and uncle just moved to a new house in Burlington, Washington. Never been there before. I imagined in my dream that it was just like the old house they had in Everett, Washington, which I know is not true. But I went there, and as soon as I got there, my aunt's like, "Oh, do you want a plate of spaghetti?" And this was in my dream. It was morning time, and I said, "Oh, okay, sure. I don't eat spaghetti in the morning, but I'll have some, because I'm always up for eating spaghetti any time of the day. Doesn't matter." And so I eat spaghetti. My sister comes over. My cousins come over. My sister's watching me eat this. And she's like, "You know why she gave you the spaghetti, right?" I said, "Why?" She said, "Well, she doesn't want you to get married. Are you getting married?" I said, "No, I'm not getting married. What are you talking about?" She's like, "Yeah, she wants to give you the spaghetti and all this good food so that you won't get married." I'm like, "Okay." And then towards the end of the thing, you and I decided that we were going to go to the Justice of the Peace.
Just
to get it done that way.
Because you had already had your spaghetti.
It was very weird. It was a weird dream. Okay, what is yours?
So, my dream was that I was watching TV, and I was watching Siskel and Ebert, who are both deceased.
Yes.
Big fan of their show back in the day.
Yeah.
And you can watch a lot of their shows on YouTube.
Yep.
That's another show I think you should watch.
Okay.
Just because you see some good argument. Anyways.
And funny commentary.
Yeah. But anyways, that's besides the point. Yeah. So I'm watching TV, and they're reviewing a film that I directed. And they're saying that the big problem with the film is how it was marketed. Because it's marketed as this like action revenge film, but it's really a deep psychological thriller. So the premise of the film is there's this guy who's, I believe he's like a murderer in the film. And he causes havoc on this cop's life and a couple other people's lives.
Wow.
And he goes to trial, but he gets let off on a technicality. So fast forward a few years, and the guy is trying to reform his life. He started a family. He's moved to a new neighborhood. But this cop who tried to track him down is a cop in this new neighborhood. He's also moved. And the cop decides that he's going to use legal means to try to go after this guy's family. So he's going to take revenge on this guy the legal way. And so you really don't know... No water right now. Thank you.
Okay.
So you really don't know who to root for. Do you root for the cop for trying to have revenge on this guy who tortured him?
Yeah.
Or do you root for the murderer who has reformed his life but who got off a murder on a technicality?
And did you have a name for the movie in your dream?
I don't remember the name. I remember that Dennis Hopper played the cop in the movie.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is pretty cool, and that sounds like a really good plot.
They both said that it was a first-time director,
yeah,
and that it wasn't the best movie of the year, but they said that it was a more intelligent film than they expected going in, and that they disliked the advertising campaign because they thought it was really, really deep.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
And then...
They thought it was like false advertising?
Not that they thought it was false advertising, but they thought that the studio was trying to appeal to the lowest common denominator by selling it as an action film instead of a psychological thriller.
Oh, wow.
Those were their words, not mine. Well, maybe they're my words since it was in my dream. This never actually happened in real life.
Right, exactly, yeah.
And then they have this advertisement on the show, and they say, okay, we're going to be hosting this country music award thing that we're starting.
Oh, right, wow.
And we're going to give awards to all these country music stars. Yeah. And then I woke up.
That's funny.
Thank you.
But that sounds like a really intelligent plot, storyline. It really does. I mean, it could be really doable too. It sounds like. I think that would be really cool if that really happened to you.
Well, Dennis Hopper's no longer alive, and Siskel and Ebert are not going to review my.
I remember when he died too.
Prostate cancer, right?
I think so, and he wasn't. I don't think he was a very old guy either.
He was like 70, I want to say.
Okay, yeah.
But he lived a hard life.
Oh wow.
If you've ever read anything about him.
No, I didn't. No, I don't know much about him, but I remember that weekend because he died on that weekend. Rue McClanahan died, and Gary Coleman died that weekend. And in a rather sad way. Yeah. I know Rue McClanahan was, she did have some health issues. I think she did have cancer at one time, and she was really old too. I mean, she was one of the Golden Girls after all.
Right.
She was Blanche.
They weren't known for being young.
No, they weren't. You know, when I was a kid, I loved that show, but I didn't understand why there were so many old ladies. But I think it's why they call it the Golden Girls, because they were living out their golden years.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I love that show. It is a fun show to watch.
A lot of women just are attracted to that show. Like it's some sort of repellent. It's like a mousetrap for women.
Really?
Yeah.
A mousetrap for women?
Mm-hmm. It just sucks you in.
Really?
Yes.
Well, maybe in some ways it does, but I appreciate it more since I started watching it as I've gotten older. I watched it on Hulu for all 5 seasons.
Are you going to write Betty White an email and thank her for being a friend?
No, because I don't know her email.
Okay.
She doesn't know who I am. I'm just a fan of the Golden Girls.
She's probably not going to last that much more longer.
Yeah, man, she's like close to 100.
Yeah, something like that.
She's 90-something.
I think 97.
I heard that she celebrated her 90th birthday twice.
Wow. Because she forgot the first time?
No, because I think she wanted to be 90 and holding.
Wow.
Some people say, I'm 39 and holding, which means that you're 39 plus.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or they'll say...
I'm not going to do that.
They'll say something like, it's the 12th anniversary of my 25th birthday.
Wow. No, I'm not going to do that.
That's good.
I'm not going to do that. I think even though I don't want to get old, it's better to face it. Because we all are growing older. Mm-hmm. And it's just better to face it and I'm not going to look like this forever.
No.
I'm not going to be the, how would you describe me?
The cutest Jaylo on the block.
Thank you. That's very sweet.
Thank you.
the better Jaylo on the block.
The better Jaylo on the block.
And I'm talking in comparison to the other Jaylo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yes. We won't mention said name.
No.
She knows who she is.
She is.
Right.
Don't be fooled by the rocks that she's got.
I'm still the better Jaylo.
On the block.
On the block.
Yes.
Or from the block.
From the block. Rather. So, Jaylo, is that it, or is there anything else you want to say?
I think that's it. I don't have any more comments.
All right.
Yeah.
Till next time, Jaylo.
Till next time, Mr. Hammond.
Jaylo.
All right.
All right.